Okay, so 78, we're at the top of the page. Let's look at the Maran first. That's where we're going to start.
It'd be alright for you to, since I wasn't over here, let's just quick review.
Yeah, sure. Last we were just talking about that other people can wash your hands for you, but some were strict that a non-Jewish lady or a nida shouldn't wash, or just any other lady shouldn't wash your hands for you.
Yeah, I know in some Sephardic communities, right, men when they wash for bread at the motzi at the
other
table,
people wash their hands for them.
Sometimes the woman of the house will come wash the
right,
house.
so we mentioned this. That would be a problem if the lady's a nida, according to some rabbis.
So how do we hold?
We were strict about it. I mean, you shouldn't do it, but her bringing the water to the table is not a problem.
Oh, because of the touching.
Pouring, right? We discussed.
It seems like that's what Rabbi David Yosef's conclusion was. All right, at the top of the next page. Im Ziyud Bet. Im. I don't know if it's Shichshech or Sichsech. Probably Sichsech. Perush. It doesn't say Nana, even though that's how you spell Nana in Hebrew. It's Nana. Mint. That's not what it is. Na'na, meaning to rub. If he rubs his hands, yadav betoch kli shel mayim, inside of a vessel of water. He's not pouring the water in his hands. Rather, he sees a bucket of water. He sticks his hand in and goes like this. Al talo. This is considered for him netila, a washing. The Kehillat Shema v'letfilah, in respect to saying Shema and Amidah. Very nice.
So it's saying that it's acceptable?
It's acceptable. For Shema and for washing your hands. Because remember, there you don't need 3 times. You just need to have a certain amount of water on your hands.
So you do that if you don't have a cup.
Oh, that's exactly what we're going to be leading into. What do you do if you don't have a cup? Very good. Because this is what we have to do. Let's say you're next to a river, but you don't have a cup. Or we're going to learn these. That's exactly what we're going to do right now.
So it's not the first morning one.
It is.
First, no. Morning. For tefillah, it's like after the restroom, 1 and 1.
Right, okay. But let's say you didn't go to the restroom, you don't have to wash that second time. Remember, a person that wakes up doesn't have to go to the bathroom? We're talking about whichever one is the one that you're washing. Okay?
So this dipping works for everything.
For Shema and for Tefillah. Aval bat lo leruach ra'ah shalehen, but not about the ruach ra'ah that is on the hands. Why? Tell me why. You know the answer to this question.
Because you have to do the alternate washing.
If you don't do alternating 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, you don't get the ruach ra'ah for your hands. But because ruach ra'ah is a Kabbalistic idea, it cannot hold you back from praying. That's why you're allowed to pray if the Netilat Yadayim works for the prayer but not for the ruach ra'ah.
And how about for limud, for learning limud?
It would be the same thing.
Yeah.
It would be the same thing. Then says Maran, im, and if sichsech yadav, he rubs his hands or dips his hands bishalosh meimot, in 3 waters mechulafim, which have changed.
3 waters that have changed.
3 different buckets of water.
Oh.
Or the sink, you turn it on and off 3 times. Or it could be a river, where the water you just washed your hands in now has already went downstream, and now there's a next water.
Oh, so you don't need to pour. You can do.
Here's what he's saying. Yesh lehistapek. We are in doubt. Im al talo, if it worked for him. Lehavir ruach ra'ah shalehen, to remove the ruach ra'ah. Says Maran, we don't know. We don't know if you specifically need a cup or if it's the 3 different waters that make the difference.
So this is a conclusion of after researching all the different points
Maran
of view.
says, I don't know.
So there are some open questions in
Maran. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But this open question is about Kabbalah things, right?
Right, meaning for Shema and Tefillah it works. Right. Let me... Let's look at our rabbis. Says the KSH that a river would be considered 3 different waters, like I said. He says that his personal opinion is that a mikvah would be okay.
To dip your hands in.
Yeah, very interesting. This is because the only reason why dipping your hands in once, you're not able to dip your hands 2 more times in the same water, is because presumably the water is not enough to... The water becomes impure when you stick your hands in.
Right.
But because the whole purpose of a mikvah is it purifies, meaning the mikvah has enough water that it cannot become tameh, so then the mikvah 3 times would actually bring you to this category of using 3 different waters, but not using a cup. Not using a cup.
It's because of the volume or because of Mayim Chayim?
It's a good question. It seems to be because of the
clean
volume.
volume.
Like the river.
Oh yeah, right.
Or ocean.
Sheer quantity.
Or lake.
He says something similar. If you use snow, 3 different places in the snow. This could be. This is also a question.
Just make sure it's not yellow snow.
The Huskies go.
Right, exactly.
Interesting. Actually, Zev, he says the other side of the coin too. What if you find a little brook that's running water, but it's not memsa, it's not a lot of water, like a mikvah? Because that would also work, because mayim chayim is also enough to make your hands very good. Also would be to make your hands good.
What do you mean by mayim chayim? Water comes from a living source.
Moving water.
Like water from the source of rain, water from...
Natural. A stream.
Like a bathtub is not mayim chayim. It comes off a tap.
I know we're going to see the details. Inside of Rabbi David Yosef, but I want to discover why is Maran so... It's rare to find Maran not decisive.
He got 4 opinions from his 3 sources.
Does the Ben Ish Chai rule on this?
It's a good question. We have to look in the Ben Ish Chai.
Because talking Kabbalah.
He was a
Yeah.
Kabbalist. It's
Right.
better
To know.
listen Kabbalah, like Arizal or somebody.
In the beginning of the Kollel, we talked about how we follow Moran because he's got 200 rabbis on his side, and we can review. So it's like it's interesting to imagine here, like 200 rabbis saying like Moran goes like we don't know, and then 200 rabbis like we agree. So.
Right, so what I said was correct. That we're not sure if it's the vessel with the water that gets rid of the rachra, or just 3 different waters that gets rid of the rachra, and that's why Maran is unsure here. There seem to be rabbis, the Mishnah Berurah is bringing down, that say that it does work. It gets rid of the rachra. Someone check the Ben Ish Chai for me? There should be a Ben Ish Chai somewhere here.
Is it from wall?
No, not that. There's a Ben Ish Chai, it's like a worn out Ben Ish Chai. It should be on one of the shelves. You'll see. Do you know what it looks like?
Yeah.
The spine is like blue, white, pink. It might be over there, but it's not those books. It should say Ben Ish Chai Halachot. It's floating on the cleaning lady. Let's put it away somewhere. Or it could be here on this bookcase.
Isn't that the one that sometimes you read from during the morning?
Yes. Found it? Oh, okay. The Aruch HaShulchan says he doesn't understand why Maran's even confused. As according to Maran, this doesn't work to get rid of to get rid of the Ruach Ra. Especially the Zohar says that it doesn't work. You need a kli specifically because he doesn't know why Maran says I'm mistapek. I'm not sure. So he doesn't know why Maran's not sure. Maran should be sure because his opinion is that it's not okay. Even though the Mishnah brought other people who said that it is okay. It's interesting. The Ben Ish Chai has a little bit of a leaning. You should know the Ben Ish Chai? Anyone ever familiar with the writings of the Ben Ish Chai? All these books I learned so far, the Kaf HaChaim, the Mishnah, the Aruch HaShulchan, are all almost running commentaries on the Shulchan Aruch. Exception of the Aruch HaShulchan, but close enough. This book is the Ben Ish Chai wrote it. Halachot people should learn every day. And what he did was he separated the book into parshas, like Bereshit, Noach, and so on and so forth. And every week has certain halachot. He starts off with a Dvar Torah that's normally Kabbalistic, which through that somehow he managed to connect the parsha, the halachot he's talking about that week. It doesn't always make sense to someone who's not a Kabbalist, but whatever. He talks about those halachot starting from the halachot section, and then there he writes halachot like do this, don't do that. It's a list mostly of what you can and cannot do. Very Kabbalistic inclined, but very nice to read. Like a very nice read. It's a different style of halakha than other people. It's a lot deeper, a lot more spiritual. He has a second volume of this. There are two years, meaning the first year of Parshas and the second year of Parshas. There's a second book he put out called Od Yosef Chai, like I'm still alive. And it's a second one. For some reason that book is not as studied as the Ben Ish Chai itself. But what we would look here is not how do you know which parsha connects into it to them. So they have an index in the back. What we would see here.
Yeah, they have an English one as well, but it doesn't have the Drashot translated. They said that the Kabbalistic Drasha would not translate into English well.
I can imagine. There's normally how it is. So here, see, he starts Bereshit with tzitzit, but only in Toldot does he talk about washing your hands in the morning. It doesn't go according to the order of the Shulchan Aruch.
Virtuoso piano.
Okay, I don't see him discuss this. It could be just because I'm not seeing it. But I want to see one thing because some of you have asked me this question before. It looks to you maybe like I'm being sidetracked, but I would like to do this with you together. We're going to do this a little bit later, I see here in the book. Around page 91, it's not as far from us as it seems. We're going to talk about all the things you have to wash your hands for. Shoes, cemeteries, being with one's wife, all kinds of things. How many times? Is it 3? Is it 1? Is it? We're going to do all those. I see the Ben Ish Chai gives a list here, but let's wait. I was going to read you the list, but I see that he's going to discuss it at length in the book, so why learn it now and then learn it again then. So for right now, suffice to say that Maran has good reason to not be sure, even though the Shulchan says they don't understand why you're not sure, because according to you, you should be sure. So, very interesting.
So I was wondering why he picked out these two instances as alternatives about dipping your hands in a vessel of water and dipping your hand in 3 vessels of water. I mean, why does he use those two things? Was that used commonly as a substitute?
Well, think about it practically. If you didn't have a cup, how would you wash your hands? The only way you would have is to put your hands in water.
Yeah, I guess so. At that
So, I
time,
mean, that's
yeah.
also now. What else would you do?
So I mean, they use one vessel of water and then 3. Why not 2? I mean, I don't understand why he used 3 vessels of water.
Oh, that's a great question. And you understand the question? Why is he talking about 3? Maran says that if you stick your hands in water once, you can pray then.
Yeah, I understand.
But it doesn't work for Ruach Ra, because for Ruach Ra you need the alternating 3 times. The question Maran has, what if I do it 3 times without a cup, but I dip my hands in
I
3
see. So
in water,
people
you know?
might think,
So could that work? Maran says, I'm not sure about it.
yeah,
But
but he
you
could
need
pray.
6 because you put your left hand, your right hand in. Oops, that vessel is now unclean.
For Ruach Ra.
Yeah, for what?
It's a very good question.
Can't put 2 at the same time.
You know, it's interesting because when it's dealing with things like on mikveh, you have such clear measurements of seah, the dimensions, the size of the mikveh, and it's like a science. But here it's much more, I don't know what the word is, fuzzy
Perhaps
logic.
because it's more common, you do it more often, you can't be so particular about it. It's the road, it's what people do all the time. Simcha, you asked a better question than you understand.
Uh-huh.
I want to ask Zev, he's our resident Levy.
Right.
Yeah? When you wash people's hands for Kohanim, how do they put out their hands for you?
Differently.
Everyone does something different, right? And I feel like Kohanim don't know what they're supposed to be doing. We Levies definitely don't know what they're supposed to be doing, and so we just do whatever we think they want us to do.
Some are like this,
Some like that.
some are, some let you wash all at once, or it's like it's so.
Do some ever do one and one?
Yeah, not so much here, but
Here's the
places
question.
I've been.
Put the Kohen aside. Usually when I wash the Kohanim's hands, which is something for me, I don't know halakha, you have to, don't have to. What I do, I wash the hands like washing in the morning. One,
That's what I try to do, yeah.
because I know that most often they didn't do it until I'm home. I wish I could offer everybody to wash their hands in the morning. I do it for them. Wash the hands.
Full service key.
I also try to do it because of that.
Yeah, that's a good.
You're going to have a
It's a good
Kohen
idea.
bless you, and he
Right,
still has
right.
Reach Ra in his hands. It doesn't make sense.
Right. So the question is now, what happens when the
Ruach,
Kohen puts out
excuse me.
both his hands? And you do 1, 1, 1.
Like washing for bread.
Well, not really, because here... does the Zohar say you have to do alternating right, left, 3 times? Because practically, you can't wash... If you're holding the cup, you can't wash your hands together if you're the one holding the cup? Or does the Zohar say it specifically because you have to wash one hand and then the other hand? One hand and then the other hand, one hand and then the other hand. According to the first one, that you practically just can't do it. So if you can do it, you can stick your hands both at the same time, so nothing wrong with that. But if you say the Zohar says specifically you have to wash hands alternatingly, so you're going to have a problem with the rib. Could be 6 times.
So it's a matter of how we interpret what the Zohar says.
Right.
Wow.
That's Moshe Chaim's department. Or Simcha. Both of them are Zohar fanatics.
No flying saucers. But so if the vessel was so big that you can't use it as a cup, you'd be contaminating the whole vessel.
Yeah.
And the days back when they drew these from wells, that's a big problem, because then what does the next guy do?
Hopefully it's more than 40 seah.
What about when
Probably not. It's probably not. Because 40 says first, that's not a huge measurement, but probably you're not bringing it in a bucket.
I've been in many houses when you wash for bread where it's in a sink with all of these dirty dishes in there, and you're washing over the dishes and everything, then
Sometimes-
wash the dishes later.
Sometimes it happens in my house. And they wonder why I start moving dishes around. What are you doing? Get out of my kitchen.
That's why we need
Yeah,
two
I was-
kitchens and two pairs of
What do you mean,
sinks.
get
And
out?
I have 2 sinks in my kitchen. Don't think that the geniuses before me put 2 sinks in there. And both sinks are full of dishes.
No, I was told that you cannot make nitrat yadayim over.
Like we said.
But your ruach ra is gone.
For bread,
The
Yeah,
dishes.
bread, it's not like
Then why-
you're
why
not getting
wash
rid
it?
of spirit, you just what, you're just...
because of it's not to get rid of ruach ra by bread,
No.
but we'll have to wait for the halachot. You know how old we're going to be when we hit the halachot of washing hands for
Yeah,
bread.
well, you get to be my age.
At least our hands will be clean.
All right, let's see this. That's a very good question.
91 or 78.
Very good question. Probably what it seems like for Maran is that putting your hands together 3 times would count as for the Zohar to get rid of ruach ra. Must be what it seems.
You can also experience how you feel about it too. I mean, maybe I don't think I'm imagining. I know when my hands are clean, ritually clean or not. You know, if I touch my feet during the day or something, or even inadvertently, I know intuitively and I need to wash. There's a feeling you get. Maybe it's Levium, or maybe it's other
Anybody
people
familiar
too.
with that? I know when I didn't do it until them right. Now someone could say because it's in my head, because they raised me that way. But I know when I do until them properly, sometimes in the middle of the day, I'll just do until them. I just, for whatever reason. And you feel different afterwards. Me, I mean, not you, but I understand. This first time I never
You
spoke
can
about it.
feel when you're ritually
Zev,
unclean
but I don't
in
know.
general. You can definitely feel it.
What
Tap
we
into
talked, I think last time, that the bottom vessel is unclean and the top vessel is clean. So if the bottom vessel is my dishes and pot and stuff like that,
This is in regards to washing your hands in the morning. You were talking about washing your hands for bread. Most of the time, at least in our house, in my house, you don't wash your hands in the morning by the sink where your dishes are. It's normally in a bathroom or a bedroom or something, right? When the Zohar said that, it was referring to washing your hands in the morning, when you're trying to get rid of the ruach ra.
but for bread.
For bread is not a ruach ra concept over there.
So what concept is there?
We'll get to there by bread, but normally it's tahara, like the Kohanim washed their hands before they had their bread. Our rabbis instituted for us the same thing. So says Rabbi David Yosef. You see Lamed Chet in the Halakha? Yeah, Lamed Chet. 38. Im sichtech yadav, if he rubs his hands betoch kli shel mayim, in a vessel of water. Ein netilah zo, this washing does not mo'ilah help. Lahasir, to remove haruach ra'ah mal yadav, the evil spirit from his hands.
Rubbing on the vessel
Rubbing means, like go like this in the water.
or in the water?
Yeah. Vafilu sichsech yadav, and even if he rubs his hands, b'mayim, in water, shebekli, in a vessel, shalosh pamim, 3 times, ein netilah zo, this washing does not mo'ilah help. Lahasir haruach ra mal yadav, to remove the ruach ra from his hands. Shari miyad, because immediately, shenagu yadav, when his hands touched b'mayim, the water, b'pa'am harishona, the first time, nitmeu hamayim, the water became tameh. Here's the big.
So tameh and ruach ra, it's the same thing. If I know.
Ruach ra is something that causes tumah. But tumah is a state of being, not a thing. A dead body has tumah in it, not ruach ra. Hands that haven't been washed have ruach ra in them.
You mean hands that like we're asleep, when you were sleeping, not
Right.
not just during
Right, not there, exactly, not just stump hands. Right.
It's interesting that that happens because of the volume, because, like, again, Friday afternoon mikvah, Los Angeles, body after body after body after body.
But the
after
mikvah
body.
always stays kosher.
Right. That's so interesting. No matter how dirty it actually gets.
Now here comes your favorite part.
The Zohar.
So who are my Kabbalists in this group? Barry, are you a Kabbalist?
I would consider myself a
Dan?
Kabbalist.
Anyone who's my rabbi taught me that anyone who says he's a Kabbalist.
Oh! So Hillel, don't say that you're a Kabbalist. Then we're going to think you have
Just
superpowers.
occurred to me, does the word Kabbalah come from Kabbalist?
Yeah, yeah.
You're a Kabbalist.
What do you mean, Kabbalah?
then.
A Kabbalah
Kabbalah.
is when you're in a plot
secretive
to
group.
overcome
Group
something.
like this.
Oh, that I don't
Work
know.
secretly in a
Is it called a
plot.
Kabbal?
Yeah.
Kabbalah.
Kabbalah.
But it's spelled with a C,
Yeah.
yeah.
So is there a
C-A-B-A-L.
connection?
It's like an SAT
between
word.
Most likely, huh?
Yeah,
Absolutely,
Good hidden.
because the Christians thought that Jews were alchemists who met in secret.
yeah, Kabbalah, Kabbalah.
Exactly.
It's probably the same root.
That's very interesting.
It is.
Could be they thought all those rabbis who were going to do nates were actually plotting the secrets of the universe. Maybe.
I don't know, for me, Kabbalah is like shuv ratzon. You go to it and then it scares the heck out of you, and then you run back.
Yeah, that's true. In
Some things are just very
in my morning
scary.
class, I gave a scathing critique of bringing too much Kabbalah to the mainstream world. Someone said, but it sounds contradictory to what you shared the other week, where Kabbalah is good. I said, I didn't contradict myself, but too much is the problem. When your calculations become Kabbalistic instead of halachic, then you've successfully undermined the Jewish process, the way the process works. Today, I see this in all kinds of things. Mostly halachot, mostly the view the Jewish community has on certain things, are very much defined by Kabbalistic concepts, not halachic concepts.
That's because Kabbalah has crept into minhag, and people don't follow halakha, they follow minhag.
Kabbalah has done a lot of things, though, also to the way we think. I gave a great example today of, I think.
You think
Yeah.
most customs are Kabbalistic?
Not most, but many have Kabbalistic ideas to them, which are great, but they can't undermine the meaning.
No, it's true.
And that's I'll tell you more. What I'm concerned about is less practice. More, for example, the example I gave today in the morning. When you study Kabbalistic concepts that are not meant to be understood literally, but instead they are understood literally, it causes for a lot of confusion in the Jewish community.
Yeah.
For example, the difference between Jews and non-Jews. This is a big problem in the Jewish community. Partially in the last 600 or so years because of the not good experiences we've had with our non-Jewish neighbors. Not that it hasn't happened before 600 years ago, but it shows that number for a reason. 1,000 years ago. Crusades, Inquisitions, Holocaust. Stay away from us. The term goy as a bad word is not that old. We are called goyim all the time in the Torah. Umi goy gadol, who's a great Jew like the goy, like the Jewish people. We are goy echad ba'aretz. We are one goy in the land. Goy just means nation. Like Am Yisrael, the nation of Israel, could also be referred to as the goy of Israel, as we are referred to many times. So where did that become derogatory?
Funny to us now.
Yeah, it does sound funny, right? Because this idea of separation has crept in, and then it was further reinforced by a separate camp. See, about 600 years ago, Kabbalah went from being something that a select few people knew. Even our greatest rabbis, some of them were not familiar with the writings of Kabbalah, and that didn't take away anything from their being great rabbis. I'm not sticking my head here whether Rambam knew or didn't know, but there were many of our rabbis, they didn't know Kabbalah. What's the big deal? Oh, but it's crucial. Maybe it's crucial. Clearly not for some of our rabbis. How often do you see Rashi bringing down the 4 different worlds and the 10 different sefirot, and even if he did know, he would never tell you because it's not for you to know. It's only for people who really can understand it. So here then they have the second problem, backed up in this separation between Jews and non-Jews, Kabbalah. Kabbalah mentions that every person has how many neshamot?
4.
Depends.
Yeah.
Which camp you come from.
Right.
Some Kabbalists say 3. What are the 3?
And 2 there.
5. He just got to the camp of 5.
Maybe
So
he
the
thinks
Christians
Adam
were right
Kadmon.
about Yeshu, the 3.
Oh,
That's another thing, yeah.
But I'll mention that. Remind me that in a second. But this is much more important than what we're spending. What I said today in the morning is worth repeating. We have at least, according to all the Mekubalim, Neran. What is Neran? Nefesh.
Soul.
What is Nefesh? I don't have Nefesh. Spirit.
Ruach.
More like it. Ruach. Spirit.
Neshama.
And Neshama, the highest Neshama. Doesn't have like Chaya Yechida, doesn't have all. I'm ignoring those for a moment. Just the 3 basic that we all agree on. And on Shabbat you get
An extra soul.
an extra 3.
Extra 3.
I didn't know that. You ever daven in the Ben Ish Chai Siddur? Here you're accepting your extra Ruach. Here you're accepting your extra Nefesh. Here you're accepting your extra Neshama. So on and so forth. So what do we have? A soul, or do we have 3 souls? Do we have the whole term of Ruach, Neshama, Nefesh? According to Kabbalah, these are deep concepts of what characterizes a person. It doesn't mean that one who doesn't have a soul. And everyone, Kabbalah mentions that a non-Jew may or may not have a neshama versus a nefesh and a ruach. It doesn't mean that they are less human than you are. All it means is there are different aspects of us, of divinity that are in different people, and some have this aspect of it and some have that aspect of it. Unfortunately, because amateurs have been dabbling in Kabbalah, this has permeated mainstream Jewish existence as if, there's Jews and then there's Goyim, non-Jews.
You just said something very complex, because the version I've heard is like Judaism for dummies. I mean, what you just said was that he may not have a neshama, he has a nefesh and ruach, but it's a little complex. It's not.
It's not so cut and dry. Of course not. It's cut. Very nice. Yeah.
You may want to turn this off, but
I think you need to turn it off for half hour.
The Kabbalah you read here is not, the secrets of how God works, secrets of the universe. Or the Kabbalah you're studying here is there are sodot behind the halakha that you do.
Right.
And according to those sodot, even though there are 2 opinions in halakha, and the Rambam or Maran may follow one of those opinions, but al derech haemet, according to Kabbalah, really this other opinion is correct. But because we're Kabbalists, we can't force you to do it, only let you know that exists. That's what the Mekubalim are essentially saying. And that's why this next halakha makes sense. I would call it practical Kabbalah, but I don't know. It's halachic Kabbalah. Practical Kabbalah, yeah? Someone once sent me a Shulchan Aruch according to the Arizal.
Oh, right.
It's like a contradiction, but okay. Uladata Zohar HaKadosh, according to the Holy Zohar, V'Rabotenu HaMekubalim, and our rabbis, the Kabbalists, Ein Netilah Zo, this washing your hands, meaning dipping your hands into the water, does not help Moilah, Afilu L'tzorich Tfilah V'Kriyat Shema. It does not work even for praying and for Kriyat Shema. Shemekivan she'adayin, but because there is still Ruach Ra'ah, Shora al yadav, resting on his hands, eno rashai afilu levarech, how could he even make a blessing? The kol sheken sheno rashai yitpalel, how much more so he's unable to pray Amidah. That's already in the beginning of the Zohar. So the Zohar doesn't agree with Maran that it works for Shema and Tfilah but not for Ruach Ra'ah. Because the Zohar says it doesn't work for anything. How could it work for Tfilah if it doesn't work for Ruach Ra'ah? Maran is telling you something else though. But according to Halakha, you don't need a cup or 3 times to clean your hands for Tfilah. Because Tfilah is a halachic concept. Shema is a halachic concept. But Ruach Ra'ah is a Kabbalistic concept. So how can I say that it works for Kabbalah when according to Kabbalah it doesn't work? So that's why washing your hands with this way is going to help you for Shema, going to help you for Shemona Esrei, but not going to help you for Ruach Ra'ah, because how can Maran force the Kabbalists to agree to the halakha? But if you were a Kabbalist, you would say it wouldn't even work for any of those things. Avaladat, but according to the opinion of Rabboteinu, our rabbis, Chachmei HaTalmud, the Chachamim of the Talmud, V'Aposkim, and the halachic rabbis, Mo'ila Netilah Zo, this washing helps the Tfilah, for Tfilah, or the Kriyat Shema, and for saying Shema. Our halachic rabbis don't concern themselves with the Ruach Ra'ah stopping you from praying, like Maran. And therefore, halakha is like Maran.
So we're talking about dipping once or 3 times?
Both. For the Kabbalists, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
For the Poskim, here we're talking about once or 3 times.
So once is enough.
Yes. Yes. And tomorrow we're going to discuss, so if this works, according to Maran, so let's say later on you have a cup and water. Do you wash your hands again? Do you make a bracha? Do you have to wash your hands? Did it work the first time and forget about Ruach Hara? I'll do that tomorrow morning. We're going to figure all that out, B'ezrat Hashem, tomorrow night.